Hey, what's up everyone? And today it's me, Pika Kite, and today we are reading Jeff the Killer creepypasta. And holy, okay, I'm gonna continue. Holy crap, that's freaky. Okay, that's freaky. I'm scared. Seriously, I've been a fan of creepypasta since I was like 9, and I'm 10. So yeah, been through a lot of nightmares. Just got another thing. Anyway, I'll put a link to this in the description if you want to read it yourself. And I just hopped myself up on other scary stories, but not this one. I've read this before, so it's going to be a little familiar to me. That picture is familiar to me, but I've never actually got to get used to. I mean, dang. I got a happy show on, Jesse. Let's just get started reading while I have 15 minutes of recording. Alright. Sorry if I screw up a little bit. Expert from local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he has survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tell his story. I had a bad dream and woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for see, I told you. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in a little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said a simple phrase that said in a way that only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream, and that's what sent him at me. He pulled a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. He threw... Sorry, I checked my recording time. The man threw a knife. It went in my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot, and I ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes. That psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Boo. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description of this story, please contact your local police department. I think this is after the story. Jeff and his family had just moved to a new neighborhood. His dad has gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be the best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new, better house, what was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. Sorry, I had a burp. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son." She turns around to call her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret. And this is my husband, Peter. Whatever. I don't give a crap. And my two sons, Jeff and Lou." They each introduced themselves. Then Barbara invited them to her son's party. Jeff and his brother were about to object. That's when their mother said they would love to. When Jeff and his family were done packing, he went up to his mom. "Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." "Jeff," said his mother, we got a while, so. Jeff said, sorry, I had like 4 minutes recording. "Jeff," said his mother, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked down the stairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, he walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus. And then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? I'm alright. Just cuss a little bit, so I did. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears a something shirt and ripped blue jeans. Well, looks like we've got some new meat. Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and one was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over here is Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over at the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that we'd expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. He looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. Another burp. The kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. And, said the first kid, and I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in the neighborhood, there's a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I hope you would be more cooperative. It seems... sorry. But it seems you must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured to sit him down. Jeff ignored him walking up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give me back my bro's wallet or else. Yeah, bro's wallet. No way to make this sound cool. Randy put the wallet back in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. Bam. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Joy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Ow. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in his stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Lou could do nothing but look at amazement in Jeff. Jeff, how do you... That was all he said. Just then the bus was coming and they saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. Dun dun dun. He didn't like it how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, Jeff probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Okay, I'm just sorry real quick. Just is a little freaky right now. That's just really weird. Alright, sorry. It was a wonderful day. Next morning, he heard a knock on the front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at his door, the mother looking back at him with an angry look. Wow, it's like my stepdad. I said nothing. Jeff, these officers tell me you attacked 3 kids. It wasn't regular fighting. That it wasn't regular fighting, and they were stabbed. Stabbed, son. Stabbed, son. Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled knives on me and Lou." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach. And we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but there was no proof it was them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because the truth to be told they were. So Jeff defended himself or Lou. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. "Son, call down your brother." Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner and they both nodded. Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie. Wait, says Lou. They all looked to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled guns and locked them on Lou. It was me. I beat up those little punks. I have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves and revealed cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. I thought there was two. Oh well. Lou held up a knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. No, Lou, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Hush, poor bro. Try and take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The police led Lou out to the patrol car. Lou, tell me it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put his hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We all know it's Lou. You can't stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept at the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back to the house, seeing that his parents both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou and was his fault. He just went to sleep. Dun dun dun. Trying to get the whole thing out of his mind. 2 days went by, with no word from Lou at JDC. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff woke up by his mother with a happy, sun-shining face. Jeff, it's today. I got like 3 minutes left. Jeff, it's today, she says. She opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. What's today? Jeff said as he stirs awake. Something's awake. Why, it's Billy's party. He was now fully awake. Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect to go to some kid's party after. There was a long pause. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past day. Now, get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room downstairs to get ready for herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out some random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Son, what is that? Is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you want to go and make an impression, said his father. Jeff got in and went back to his room. His dad sounds just like, this kid in my school. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around his closet to see what he'd call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants and special occasions for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around. He found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go as dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh no, it's time. Oh, no time changed. Let's just go. She says she herded Jeff and his father at the front door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and what appeared as Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. They walked inside and all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. Okay, so I'm pretty much out of recording time. I will see you later of me and this video. Thingy, shingy, majiggy. I'll keep this in handy. I shall finish this next week. Bye-bye.